Welcome, everyone, to the May 4th, 2026 MCE Executive Committee meeting. It is 12 o'clock, and with that, we'll get started with a roll call. Is Tanya, will you be doing the roll call from Concord?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Just give a second for the tracker to come up. Perfect. Belvedere?
Present.
Benicia?
Present.
Concord?
Present.
Contra Costa County?
Present.
Fairfax?
Here.
Larkspur?
Here.
Mill Valley?
Here.
Napa?
Here.
Pinole? San Rafael?
Present.
Walnut Creek. Quorum established.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, we'll move on to public open time. And let's go to Concord first. Do you have members of the public?
We do not have any members of the public at this time.
Okay, let's check in San Rafael. Do we have members of the public wishing to speak in open time?
No members at this time, Chair.
Okay, anybody on Zoom?
I do see a hand raised by Jody Timms on Zoom.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Timms.
Good morning. I wanted to mention a couple of things, a few things I mentioned at the technical committee, but others I didn't get a chance to mention at the board meeting. The first one I guess I wanted just to mention is it strikes me as a little odd. Maybe it's more common than I'm aware that there's a closed session often scheduled, sometimes scheduled in the middle of a meeting. I think this happened at the board meeting and the executive before, and it's happening again today. It doesn't really encourage public attendance at the meetings if for an hour or an hour and a half or longer in the middle of a meeting, we are, waiting to hear when things are coming back on so we can continue with public comment on other items. So typically I know in city council meetings I've been at, they're scheduled at the beginning and sometimes the hour before a meeting actually starts. And then the actual meeting that's open to the public is a continuous meeting. So I would just like to encourage the staff and board to consider that. It'd be a lot easier for those of us who are listening in and wanting to be sure that our voices are heard. On the agenda today, I just wanted to mention there's no information on item 7. I'm not talking about it, but just to say I have no idea what it is. So it's hard to know if I would want to be present for that. Also, I don't see any discussion of the 3 options or the conversation about 2026-02 that was kind of aborted in the whole process of the board meeting. And I would assume that there would be some more discussion among board members and a chance for the public to weigh in on items like that. So I'm surprised that's not on today's agenda. And last, I just wanted to mention that I know Sebastian Kahn has been coming out to some of the climate meetings around town, and that's been very appreciated. It's great to have him pop in. At the local Fairfax meeting this week, we did give some suggestions of ways that MCE could engage more with the public. And one of those would be public workshops. These could be webinars like Ride and Drive Clean does, the kind of things that's short, it's an hour, it's free. But information from MCE, what's the difference between MCE and PG&E? People ask this all the time. How do I read a bill? What are generally the programs that MCE offers? And just some of the, what is the portfolio like? The green, deep green, light green. These are questions that come up, and it would be advantageous, I think, if the community at large had a way to pop into informational sessions at some point where MCE could have a more public interface with the community at large. So thank you very much. Just my thoughts this morning.
Thank you very much, Jody. Just want to mention that Jamie Tuckey is here, our Chief Customer Programs Officer, and Dawn is also taking notes. So those are good suggestions.
Chair, if I may, I can give a very short summary of what item 7 is about so that the public can know if they'd like to stay and attend that session.
Yeah, let's just make sure there's nobody else on Zoom first.
Of course.
But of course, is there anyone else on Zoom, Tanya?
I see no additional raised hands, Chair.
Okay. Uh, Justine Parmalee, go ahead.
Thank you. So item 7 will be presented by our clerk, Tanya Lomas, and myself. And we're going to be giving a walkthrough of how we currently compile our agenda packets, the technology that lives within them, their bookmarks, et cetera, and then asking for any guidance from this committee, whether or not you'd like us to look into different software tools for different aspects of that agenda management. Thank you.
Thank you, Justine. All right. So closing public open time, moving on to the consent calendar, and just letting you know that we can do this in all one fell swoop. Let's see if we have any questions of staff on the consent calendar. Seeing none in San Rafael, seeing none in Concord. Is there any public comment on the consent calendar? Madam Clerk.
None in Concord, but I do see a raised hand on Zoom from Jody Timms.
Okay, let's go ahead with that. There's no one in San Rafael wants to comment on this consent calendar. Go ahead.
I again, so Jody with 350 Marin. The draft board agenda, if the process around 2026-02, that resolution, if it's not, since it's not on this agenda, I'm curious if it could be on the board agenda so that again, the public has some understanding of what is the process when a serious and important resolution like that comes forward. There's not time for a discussion for us to hear the board discuss it. What is the process for either the three options that are being proposed? Since the workshop that's coming up on June 5th, there's speakers and then there's, I guess, a presentation of the options, but the public's not invited to be present. We can be by Zoom, but I would love to hear a conversation, the discussion. How are those three options being created? And then it'd be great to hear a discussion, at least among the board members, of the pros and cons of some of that, as opposed to just a vote after June. So that's my only feedback about the board agenda is I'm surprised that there isn't something about this item and something about the process that goes into how things that are somewhat controversial that come before the board, how do they then come back in other forms? So those are my comments there. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Rather than getting into the meat of the issue, I think our CEO, Don Weiss, wants to just mention something about it.
Yeah, I'll just explain the timing. So at our last board meeting, when we weren't able to, when we ran into the time limit on that meeting, it was suggested by our board chair that this item be brought to our procurement workshop, which was in the planning stages at that time. And that date has now been set for June 5th. It is open to the public. We hope that all members of the public can attend. It will also be available virtually. And so as far as I'm aware, I think the next steps would be determined after that procurement workshop.
Okay, great. Thank you, Dawn. Okay, with that, I would bring it back to the board. And would somebody like to make a motion regarding the consent agenda? Don't all speak at once.
This is Director Darling in Concord, and I'm here now, and I move to approve the consent calendar.
I will second that motion.
Okay, and who was the second? Was that
This is
Director
Nakamura.
Okay, and with that, we'll need a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please.
Yes, just
And let's please note that Director Darling is here. I see you did that. Thank you.
yes. Belvedere,
Yes.
Benicia,
Yes.
Concord,
Yes.
Contra Costa County,
Yes.
Fairfax,
Yes.
Larkspur,
Yes.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Napa,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes.
Walnut Creek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, and are we clear that Director Murphy is not present at this time? I see his name card. Okay. Thank you very much. And let's move on to item 4, which is the credit facility extension. And just to be clear, this is going to the Finance Committee, I believe on the 8th. So I'm sure there will be good discussion there as well. I don't think we need a very long presentation. So with that, Maida Strauss, are you in Concord, our CFO? I see a camera moving.
Yes, Maida Strauss here. Thank you.
Great. Could we have the camera focused on Maida? Oh, there she is. Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, committee. As the chair mentioned, I will be brief with this item as it's also going to the Finance Committee on May 8th. And this item falls into both committees' approval consideration. So the item is, staff is proposing is a 1-year extension of our current revolving credit agreement with Royal Bank of Canada. So that would extend the term through May 21st, 2027, and increase the facility limit from 60 million to 80 million. Our municipal advisors, Moniguida Rose, they are also on the line to answer any additional questions regarding this item that the committee would like to explore. And the recommendation is that the executive committee forward this to the board for approval of the 1-year extension with Royal Bank of Canada and an increase of the credit limit. I will open for questions.
Okay, questions in Concord for staff? See none. Moving to San Rafael, are there questions for staff with the understanding this will also be discussed at Finance Committee? I see none in San Rafael. Is there any members of the public in San Rafael that want to speak to this item? Seeing none. Let's move over to Zoom. Do we have any public comment on Zoom on this item?
I see no raised hands, Chair.
Okay, closing public comment. Moving on to the recommendation and the recommendation that the Executive Committee recommend to the Board of Directors. So this is a recommendation to the board, approval of a 1-year extension of the current Royal Bank of Canada credit facility, extending the term through May 21st, 2027, and increasing the credit limit to 80 million. And I would entertain a motion. Would somebody in San Rafael like to make that motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, you'll move that. And would we like a second?
Second.
Your mic isn't on, please.
Sorry, second, Director Painter.
Okay, and with that, Madam Clerk, could we do a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Belvedere,
I'll abstain until the Finance Committee discussion.
Benicia,
Yes.
Concord,
Yes.
Contra Costa County,
Yes.
Fairfax,
Yes.
Larkspur,
Abstain.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Napa,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes.
Walnut Creek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, I violated my own rules. So I'd like to see if there's any public comment on the closed session matter. Is anyone in San Rafael wanting to speak on this matter? Anyone in Concord wanting to speak on this matter?
There are no
And-
members of the public in Concord, but on Zoom, we do have a raised hand by Jody Timms.
Okay, let's open it up to Ms. Timms.
Again, good afternoon. Clearly, this issue or the issues that you're about to discuss in closed session, the public does not know much about, but clearly there was an article as we know, in the Marin IJ about the salary issue. So I'm getting questions about it, and I just want to encourage there at some point to be some kind of information, or how we prevent things from happening, like the salary issue, so that I can talk about that intelligently at the appropriate time. Obviously, this is not that, but I just this is an issue that's of major importance, I think, to a lot of people in this community in Marin, and I would imagine that's the case for other counties as well. So when the time is appropriate, it just seems like it would be helpful to have some kind of agenda item that is informational or nothing else, if nothing else, about what we can know about the problems that occurred and how those could be prevented in the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you. So with that, we will move on over to closed session. And I understand, at least in San Rafael, we're moving to a different room. Is it the same thing in Concord? Okay, so we'll take a few minutes and move to this conference room.
Hi, Chair. I think folks are getting settled in over here, and when you're ready, I can start roll call.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead, Madam Clerk?
Perfect. Thank you. Belvedere,
Present.
Benicia,
Present.
Concord,
Present.
Contra Costa County. I believe she had to leave. Fairfax,
Yes, present.
Larkspur,
Here.
Mill Valley,
Present.
Napa.
Here.
Pinole is not here. San Rafael, Walnut Creek.
Here.
Quorum established.
Okay, so I just want to say there was no reportable action. The executive committee gave direction to staff, and given the late hour and we'll be losing quorum, we're going to move the remaining items to the next executive committee. So with that, I would like to adjourn the meeting, and also to mention to Dawn that we're going to need a minute, but we'd like to talk to you. So thank you, everyone, and appreciate everyone coming today, and we'll be in touch.